Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we're continuing our Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But today we're just going to do something a little different because these episodes are part 1 and part 2 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, so the episode is called
What's My Line?
The first episode was aired November 17th, 1997, and the second episode, I guess would have been a week later, November 24th, 1997. Or the first one was also written by Howard Gordon and Marty Nixon, directed by...
Sorry.
Is it what?
Marty Noxon.
Noxon. Directed by Marty Noxon.
That's an O.
Yeah, it is. And directed by David Solomon. Part 2 also written by Marty Noxon, but directed by David Samuel. Eddie.
Yeah. Yes. This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of the show, but Jared has never watched the whole series, and I'm trying to convince him that it's worth his time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this episode, Jared? These episodes.
Oh, these episodes, yeah, okay. Double episode, usually a lot more is going on, a bit more intense, a bit more... at least they're sort of back to the main narrative of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer story, rather just your Monster of the Week, which is not a bad thing to do to Monster of the Week, but I have found their ones being a little boring when I've done that. And getting back to the main story with Spike and your favourite Drusilla.
Oh, I love
and her
Drusilla.
mindless child babbling.
I love her mindless child.
It is charming. I don't mind her babbling. Out of all the babbling, I'd probably say hers the best, Giles second, and Willow and Sandra are dead last.
Oh, no, her babbling's different to
Yes,
Willow.
yeah, well, there's a reason for it, yes, yeah.
Hers is...
And it's a lot creepier as well, I have to say.
Yeah, she started doing the lamb stuck in the blackberry bush again, that same little rhyme.
Yeah.
Only she was doing it while torturing Angel this time. Yes.
Yeah, it was very sexual, that scene, I got to say.
Yeah,
David Boreas up
definitely.
there, and it was all getting all steamy. And
It wasn't steam, it was smoke.
yeah, well, you couldn't see it coming off his body, so, you know. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, well, you sort of also, he let slip that him and Drusilla had been intimate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that when he was a vampire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, tell you that being a vampire improves your libido, so, you know. Yes.
Yes. Had you seen this episode?
No, but I have a feeling I may have seen the scene where Angel was in the cage and the sun was coming in. I know there was something familiar with that. I just recognized that scene. Like maybe that had been on and I'd seen that. Otherwise, I'd never...
Did you recognize Kendra at all?
No. I'd never noticed her, never seen her before. And maybe I had, but for some reason I remember the angel like with the sun. I don't know where it's been.
Did you like the little fake out where you didn't know who she was?
Oh, yeah,
You thought she was part of the Order of Tarak?
Yeah. Nice misdirection on that one. Yeah.
That's quite a good little misdirection. So I remember when I first watched this being completely thrown aback when she says she's a Slayer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what got me, I didn't know that there'd be another Slayer. I know of maybe something else coming later, but I'd never known of Kendra. So I don't know what happens to her. I'm guessing it's probably not good.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Guess.
Why don't you do the synopsis?
Yeah, I'll get that now.
Talk more about.
We'll get into that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, full warning. I'm doing a synopsis for both part 1 and part 2. So this is going to be quite long. This one. All right. It's hard to sort of condense down. There's sort of a lot to say in here. So I'll do my best. So, part 1. Spike works on a cure for Drusilla. Dalton, a vampire transcriber, is unable to decipher the book stolen from the library which contains a cure. Drusilla informs Spike that they need a key because the book is in a code. Buffy witnesses Dalton stealing an object from a mausoleum, but he escapes when she is distracted by another vampire. She enters her bedroom and finds Angel waiting to warn her of grave danger. Buffy reports to Giles, and he is concerned when she tells him about the theft from the mausoleum. Spike and Drusilla examine the key stolen by Dalton, a gold cross. Spike decides to call the Order of Taraka, an ancient guild of assassins, to rid himself of the Slayer once and for all. Back at school, Willow is taken into a scheduled lounge area to be recruited by a leading software company along with Oz. At the mausoleum, Giles realizes that Joseph DeLuc, the author of the book stolen from the library, is buried there and that the book's key was taken from the mausoleum. The assassins begin to arrive. A large, intimidating man exits a bus, and a door-to-door beauty salesman attacks Buffy's next-door neighbour. A young woman attacks an airplane worker in the cargo hold of a plane, escaping with little difficulty. Giles tells Buffy, Xander and Willow about the DeLuc cross, which can be used as a key, and he enlists their help with further research. Buffy arrives at the ice skating rink stadium for a date with Angel. She is attacked, but Angel arrives in time to help her fight off the assassin, whom she kills with the blade of his skate. Saw that one coming a mile away. Angel, recognizing the assassin's ring, warns Buffy that she should leave Sunnydale and hide. Buffy is paranoid and jittery, suspicious of each person who passes in the hallway at school, including Oz. Buffy arrives at Angel's empty home and falls asleep in his bed. Angel goes to Willie's bar for information, and Willie finally confirms Angel's suspicions that Spike is behind the assassins. Before Angel can leave, he is attacked by a mysterious female. She locks him in a metal cage in front of an eastern window with only a few hours until sunrise. Giles reveals that the missing manuscript contains a ritual to restore a weakened vampire back to health. Xander and Cordelia enter Buffy's house, and Xander searches for her while Cordelia waits downstairs. She hears a knock at the door and lets the mealworm assassin in. In Angel's bedroom, Buffy is attacked by the mysterious woman. They fight, and the woman tells her the name is Kendra, the
Vampire Slayer.
End of part 1. What a cliffhanger. And like us these days, we always have streaming straight into part 2.
Well, when I watched it back in the day, I had to wait a whole week.
Yes. Well, did you? Or were you already into the show at that stage? Or
I watched it as it aired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'd probably been later than that. So probably like 2 years later or something. From when it aired.
No, they were pretty good.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was on it was like late at night. It was at like 10 o'clock at night. They used to air it.
That's when all the good shows were on, weren't they?
Yes.
Those late night slots. It
was either 9. I think it was maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or they'd show Buffy at 9:30 and then Angel at 10.
Yeah, there's some really weird shows they used to air early in the mornings. Like I remember there was a Nightmares on Elm Street. Did you ever see that show?
No.
Yeah, it was like the Freddy Krueger show. It was kind of like weird stories and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a weird show actually.
Okay.
Recommend it. Anyway, part 2. Realizing they are both Slayers, Buffy and Kendra go to Giles for assistance in explaining the situation. They learn that Kendra was called when Buffy temporarily died in her fight with the Master in Prophecy Girl. Meanwhile, Willie has saved Angel from certain death but sold him out to Spike. Spike takes Angel back to the warehouse where he will be held until he can be sacrificed to restore Drusilla to full strength. Xander and Cordelia run and hide in the basement, although before long they are arguing with each other. After an unexpected kiss, they rush to escape, running past the attacking mailworm assassin. At school, Buffy, whose test results recommended a career in law enforcement, attends a career seminar. The police officer leading the seminar tries to shoot Buffy. Oz is shot and slightly injured as he pushes Willow out of harm's way. Kendra comes to Buffy's rescue and they fight off the attacker. The Scoobies, we call them the Scoobies now, aren't we?
Yeah, we can call them the Scoobies now.
Okay.
They use the term Scoobs in this episode.
Yep. The Scoobies then gather in the library where Giles announces that Spike intends for Angel to die in the ritual to restore Drusilla. Angel is tortured by Drusilla, both emotionally and physically. Angel taunts Spike with insinuations that Spike is unable to satisfy Drusilla in the hope that Spike will kill him before he could be used to cure Drusilla.
Buttock.
Later, the Slayers go after Willie to learn what happened to Angel. They force Willie to take them to the location of Spike and Angel. However, Willie leads them to the assassins, and the ritual has already begun. Buffy attacks Spike to save Angel, and Kendra and the Scooby Gang arrive to back her up. Xander and Cordelia lure the mealworm assassin under the door into a liquid glue trap. Willow and Giles stake a vampire while Buffy and Kendra fight several of their own. Spike starts a fire and rushes to rescue the unconscious Drusilla, hoping that the ritual has time to cure her. Buffy prevents their exit, crushing them in falling rubble. She helps a weakened Angel to exit the building. With the danger over, it is time for Kendra to leave. Buffy and Kendra discuss their position as a Slayer. Kendra remarks that Buffy considers slaying to be a job when it is actually part of who she is. The two, now friends, say their goodbyes, and Buffy is left with a new outlook on her position as a Slayer, as well as her knowledge that she is no longer alone in her calling. At the remains of the church, Spike lies seriously injured under the rubble. Drusilla rises, the ritual having worked and restored her to full power. She carries her partner out of the debris, promising to return the favour and make him as powerful as her. The end.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun. Oh, that was a long one. All right, Eddie, over to you. I'm parched.
Oh, where do we start? We do get... I do really like this 2-part episode. It's an overarching episode and you learn why Drusilla and Spike have actually come to Sunnydale. You have Buffy who's struggling...
It was for the whole ritual. Is that what it was?
Well, I think Spike was just under the impression that the Hellmouth would help her heal.
Oh, but it didn't.
No, but I don't know where Spike gets all of his information from, but he must have known there was a copy of that book.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, it's where the tomb is with the cross and the book. I don't really know what.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Get all the way off your back about it. He just knew going to Sunnydale would help somehow.
Yes.
Hellmouth would do something.
Yeah.
Okay. Leave it at that.
Yeah, so you have Buffy struggling with the fact that she doesn't get to choose what she does for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Treating slaying as if it's a job.
Yes.
Instead of her calling and part of who she actually is.
Yeah.
And you get Kendra. Now, I actually really like Kendra.
Yeah.
But yeah, her problematic Irish Jamaican accent is a bit distracting.
It was really annoying, and I thought it was awful. Yeah,
uncalled for. I think that's the way. Like originally, I don't think she was meant to have an accent.
No, I was reading about it, and it was really last minute they threw that in the script. Oh, by the way, you got to have a thick Jamaican accent, and she's like, "Huh? Oh, really? Do I?" So the story was written with no reference to her having a Jamaican accent, so they threw that in there last minute. And apparently she narrowed down a Jamaican accent, but the problem being
you can't
understand someone with an accent that thick. So they had to sort of tone it down a bit. So that's probably why it sounds all over the place because you want to have that exotic accent, but then you want to be able to understand it. And if you have to keep saying to her, "Huh?" every time she says something, it's going to be a little, annoying and not really a great way to have a character talk that no one can understand. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was needed at all. She didn't need to be from Jamaica. And I think they're trying to lean into the Haitian sort of mystical voodoo sort of aspect, or something like that.
Yeah, because there was that thing where they were like, she was sent to her watcher when she was a child.
Yeah, but she wasn't a slayer though. So how could she?
Well, she was a potential slayer somehow her parents knew that she was going to be a potential slayer, so they sent her to this watcher. But yeah, she's like another shadow self of Buffy, but she's sort of so far to the extreme of being the perfect slayer. Like she's obedient. She, all she does all day is train and study and whatnot. But at the end of the day, she's got no ties to the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is part of why Buffy has, like, why she is in the end so powerful, is because she does have these ties to the world, because it's a world worth fighting for.
Yeah, you got to live in the world in order to defend it. Otherwise,
yes, exactly.
What's the point?
Yeah. So, poor Ken. I feel really bad for Kendra. Like, it's that thing like, no family, no friends. Like, she's not allowed to have relationships with anybody. And, stickler for the rules.
Almost sort of the military sort of version of the Slayer, if she was used as a weapon.
Yeah. So, the perfect Slayer, but no balance.
Yeah, yeah.
So
one extreme, yeah.
Yeah, she's like completely the extreme of what happens when you are the good obedient slayer, and it does kind of come back to bite her.
Right. More ways than one, I'm guessing.
Yes. But that's for a later episode.
Oh.
So in this episode, Willow and Oz finally meet.
Yes. And that weird scene where she's ushered off behind the black curtain.
Yeah.
And it never comes up again.
No.
It was just a way to get them to meet. Let's just put it. Somehow they had to get them in the room together.
Yeah, pretty much. So it is seen that Willow is extremely smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just their way of saying, "Oh, we've had an eye on you for a while."
Yeah.
Recruiting them straight out
Checking
of high
your key logs, software that we installed in your computer.
Yeah.
A very busy girl.
Yes. So, but yeah, it really is just used to also put, Oz and Willow on the same playing field. That Oz is actually an incredibly intelligent guy, I guess.
Is he? Okay, yeah. Can't play a E flat diminished 9 though.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to say, oh yeah. Yeah, E flat diminished 9. Oh yeah, that's a hard chord. Yeah.
Is it a hard? What is it?
I don't know. So many different ways to play a chord. I've looked up at a few versions and I've played harder chords than that, so I don't know what chord that he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I don't exactly know that. That's just saying. There's so many different ways you can play a chord. And I'm not sure which one he's talking about, but it was lots of different versions. I couldn't find a specific one. It wasn't as if I could find this is the chord. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways to skin a cat, basically. When it comes to chords. So, yeah. Okay,
we also have Cordelia and Xander.
Yes, a passionate kiss in the basement when they're locked in there,
yeah. So that could be the start of something big as well. And we get the first use of the word or the term Scooby Gang.
Yeah, so he just threw it out there as if they say it all the time, though. That was the weird part.
Well, I think that's where it's used, and then it just became like everyone's just called them the Scooby Gang after that.
Oh, you mean the viewers have called them the Scooby Gang?
Yeah.
But do they call themselves the Scooby Gang?
Yeah, occasionally it is brought up.
It does come up?
Yeah.
Okay, but they don't just sit down and say, hey, we're the Scoobs. They never say that?
No.
There's never this moment, hey, what should we call ourselves? There's 4 of us. Fan 4 stick. There's no moment like that or anything?
No, there's no moment
fan
like
4
that.
stick?
No, it's pretty much all from that one little thing that Xander says to Cordelia.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be part of the Scooby Gang. Yeah. Yeah, you have to drive Xander to Buffy's house, apparently.
Oh, that was easy.
What's another talk? Oh, yeah, Buffy ice skating. That's also by the way, you'd never see her ice skating again.
Right. But yeah, apparently you were saying she was a professional ice skater or a competitive ice skater at one stage.
Yeah. So, and it is that thing where when actors and actresses have, do a resume and they've got like special talents. Mm-hmm. I think she had put on her her special talent ice skating and just decided to just throw it in there one day.
And get to kill someone with a skate. I just knew that was coming. Someone's going to die with that skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story about that, but
okay. Also, apparently Darla was a skater as well. The actress who plays Darla.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this episode, you realise that Buffy is a fangirl of ice skaters, and that does come up later.
How did you find out she was a fangirl of ice skaters?
She's the Dorothy something or other. Like the Dorothy, she had the haircut and the dolls and the posters. And
I never noticed. Oh, okay.
Well, she doesn't have them up, but she said that she used to have them. When she was a little girl, she used to.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
She's a bit of a fangirl.
Right. Okay. I missed that part.
Okay. She's telling Angel about it.
Yeah. Was that in her bedroom, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, with Mr. Gordo.
Gordo. Get back to Gordo.
That you'll be surprised that comes up. I've seen that come up in so many pub quizzes.
What? Gordo?
What's the name of Buffy's pet stuffed pig?
Come back to Gordo. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Right. It does come up in later episodes that she has this weird thing of rewatching like horrible skate, those Hallmark skate movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
All right. You mentioned Gordo.
Mr. Gordo.
Mr. Gordo. I think it might have been a play on a movie called Gordy.
Oh, yeah. You're showing me that, and I'm like, that's not Gordy. That's Babe.
Yeah, about a talking pig that saves a kid from drowning, and then becomes a famous celebrity, and then only children can understand him. So he actually talks to the kids as well. So came out 2 years before Babe. So if you want to claim plagiarism, I guess Gordy is the OG on this.
Well, you could probably even go further back to Charlotte's Web, but anyway.
Yeah, all right. But even the look of the film looks very similar. I mean, using a piglet, so but the film's very different. Obviously, it's not. Babe never talked to humans, so they're just animals are talking to each other.
Yeah.
Though the animals are talking to each other, and I think he's trying to find his family who were taken away, or something. I've never heard of this movie, Gordy. I guess maybe in America it might have been popular at the time or something.
Is it sort of one of the? Oh no,
kind of a Disney movie or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a Disney movie.
I was thinking, is it like a Deep Impact, Armageddon? Ants, bugs.
No, but it came out 2 years beforehand.
Okay.
Not at the same time. Like in '93 it came out, and Babe came out in '95. So there's a good couple of year gap there. So but it's a different movie though. I mean, you can say that it's a ripping off that, but it's a completely different sort of film.
Yeah. So this is the first it's the first episodes written by Marty Noxon. Noxon, not Nixon. And she's a girl, by the way.
Okay. All right. Didn't know that. Not the president and not a girl. Okay.
No, she was not a president. She was not an ex-president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she will later become the showrunner. So,
right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. When Joss goes off to make Firefly. Oh yeah, the What's My Line?
What's My Line? That is a television show, American television show that ran for about 30 seasons from like the 60s to the 70s, I think. Or maybe in the 50s, I think it might have started. And it was like had celebrity guests on there, and the one I saw had Jerry Lewis, a couple other people, and basically they would have a contestant, like someone from the public, and they would have to ask that person questions on what their profession was, and they had to guess what their job was. So maybe that does play on the episode a little bit. Buffy's job being the Vampire Slayer, I guess, and having to.
Oh well, she actually brings it up at the start. She says, "I feel like I'm playing a game of What's My Line," but
yeah. Well, that was that.
So, Jared, what rabbit hole did you go down this week?
Well, this week the rabbit hole went down the alley of literature.
Okay.
So there was a line said by Spike when he was an old torturing angel, and he mentioned you and your band from Rebecca of Sunny Hill Farm. It was a reference to a book called Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. I've never heard of this. You ever heard of this?
No, I've never heard of this book.
So this is a book written in 1903. Okay. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, written by Kate Douglas Wiggin. Kate Wiggins? Is that, I don't know. Nope, never heard of it. It's about a young girl. She lives in country areas, I guess. Her father dies. She's sent to live with her aunties. She's one of the eldest of 7 kids, but the eldest kid's left with the mum to help. And she's younger, and she's got a bright imagination, and her family's poor, but she has quite a bright imagination, which her aunt is like a good aunt and a bad aunt, and like the bad aunt wants her to be a prim, proper lady, and the other aunt is sort of encouraging her youth. And yeah, it's just the struggles of living in America in that time, I guess. and basically spoilers on this book.
Is it a series of books?
Yeah, there is a series. Yes, there's 3 of them, I think, or 3 or 4 actually, and it was adapted into a film several times actually. One of them starring Shirley Temple as well. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. And anyway, she grows up and becomes an independent woman and all that. Yeah, so Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm might be worth a read. And the other one that sort of led me down another little rabbit hole is a book called White Noise by Don DeLineo. This was written in 1985. He's still alive. He's written a few books, and it was a reference. It was something Schneider said when he was talking to Xander and Willow, and he mentioned not to believe anything they have. It's the airborne toxin event, which is a chapter from that book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this book, I don't know. It's I don't know if I really want to go into it, but it's about the couple who are afraid of death, and they're questioning who would die first out of the couple. And then this event happens in their town where they're infected with some sort of airborne agent, and they have to go to this black market to take sort of a cure for it, but it doesn't work, or it has bad side effects. And I think it's kind of a dark comedy. It's also playing on consumer culture, I think, is a big issue in this. There's a big sort of and religion and, basically everything. Academia and death. But it starts off with death. So that was another little rabbit hole I went down.
Well, I have to bring up, when you were, during that scene, I was distracted because you made me pause it.
Yeah.
Because you were like...
the cop's uniform.
Because you saw the cop's uniform in the background.
Yeah, the arm patch. I'm like, hey, that looks like the arm patch from Police Academy.
Seriously. And it is.
And it is. And we wonder, now, was that maybe intentional?
Yes.
To say that she was wearing a costume. Yes. Yeah. Possibly.
Because none of the other, when you see police officers in the rest of the show, they're not wearing that sort of uniform.
No, yeah. Or maybe they are. I'll have to take notice next time. Using leftover props from another movie or something. Oh, I've got these police uniforms. Just wear these, generic ones.
Well, apparently, the way that it works is that you actually, those sort of things are all hired.
Yeah.
It's
just police uniform, and no one will recognise the badge.
Yes. But, no, you fully paused it going, hang on.
I will say I have watched the Police Academy movies a lot of times. I haven't watched one in years, though. I think that might be a show we could do a review on, actually, the Police Academy movies. I would like to revisit those and see how god-awful they are.
And how oh, God, they'll have so many...
Yeah.
They'll be so politically incorrect.
I know. The first few were pretty good, but they got terrible pretty quickly. And I remember the last one I saw, the Mission to Moscow, was just god-awful. I think I will enjoy watching that again.
Yeah. Also the tarot cards. So years ago, I used to be quite into my tarot cards. I have to say, the tarot cards at Drusilla seemed very specific.
Yeah, no, they were fake. Apparently, the Miss Noxon had just created her own tarot cards to further the plot along. So she just made up an angel falling. Because there's nothing like that in the tarot card set, and that took me down another rabbit hole, actually, of the tarot cards, and maybe another reason I didn't show them because they are copyrighted.
Yeah.
And which the copyright did run out recently, although there is a company called US Games who are still claiming some sort of copyright on it. It's meant to be in the public domain now.
Okay.
So those tarot cards aren't hundreds of years old. They were made by a man, I can't think of his name now, but they're known as Rowan, or not Rowan, but something like that. And that's the typical tarot cards that you see or that they use usually.
Yeah, but they're normally your Seven of Cups and your Death card and your... there's normally numbers and... Yeah,
there's numbers on them, Roman numerals, yeah. But they're not that old. They're not centuries old. They're actually less than 100 years old.
Of course they are.
That surprised me. I thought they were a lot older. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The ancient art of tarot, which it really isn't that ancient.
No, it's not. All right, Eddie, let's roll it into question time. Ready?
Question time.
Answer the question.
Go on.
Okay, which character was your favourite? We had lots of new characters introduced in this one.
My favourite in this episode. Actually, I think I kind of like that Sammy the Squeal guy, or what was his
Willie.
name? Willie the Squealer. I don't know what he's doing. I've got nothing on me. Now, I looked up that actor, and
he's just in everything.
He's everything, but I just feel like there was a role that he's memorized for, but I don't know. I couldn't find it. He's in lots of TV shows. I'm like, no, I don't think that's the one, or that's the one. But there's something that I really recognize him from, but I just couldn't pinpoint it. Out of all the shows he's been on, and still to be on, I'd imagine. I couldn't pinpoint the memorable character that I know him from. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll just always know him as Willie.
Yeah, Willie the Squealer.
And by the way, that's a demon bar that he runs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like this underground bar that demons and...
Seems like a lucrative business, except all your patrons keep beating information out of you all the time. It would get annoying very quickly, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Who was yours?
Oh, my favourite character was definitely Kendra. Kendra, the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be awkward.
Which character do you love to hate?
Kendra. Oh, that voice is... yeah. No, it was really putting me off.
Mine was Norman, the man of bugs.
The worm guy?
Yeah. Not the bug. He's not a bug guy. He's a man of bugs.
Did I ever show you a worm do?
Did
I ever show you a worm do?
I'm not falling for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I hate those. Like, what do they call them? Mealworms? They're disgusting.
Yeah.
They just look like maggots.
Yeah.
Which are also
giant maggots.
Yeah. They're gross. I have heard an interview with him as well. That guy.
Yeah.
Yes, poor guy. He actually literally had to have them crawling all over his face.
So they're Cordelia. Oh, they fake ones or something, or dead.
No, they didn't have money to do fake ones.
They didn't have money to do dusting, by the way. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
a couple of
but they
dusters.
did have to do a lot of, like, there was a lot of CGI.
Yeah, a lot of shimmering and,
bug arms. Yeah. And apparently they had like a bug wrangler.
Maybe it was a tarantula guy who had him as well.
Yep, probably. What was the most memorable fight scene?
I think the Buffy and Kendra. The Slayer fight was pretty good.
Chick fight.
The chick fight,
Chick fight.
The scratching the hands or pulling the hair.
Chick fight. Yeah, no, that's my favourite one as well. It's a pretty
It's pretty well choreographed, yeah.
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 I don't know, I thought you would have said the one at the end, but I don't know.
No,
the big battle at the end, but actually the Slayer on Slayer one was definitely better.
Yeah, but there's not really a whole lot going on action wise. Like they're just kind of just punching each other a little.
Yeah, but they're quite well. You sort of see that they're very evenly matched.
Yeah.
But you could also tell that Buffy was going to win.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Buffy would have won in the end, which is sort of part of it, was that Kendra had no imagination.
Okay, yeah.
So she wasn't as quick on her feet, even though she was technically better.
Better at improvising.
Yeah. But then again, Buffy's also more experienced. But then Kendra's studied more.
Yeah.
Street fight. What is it? Street smarts versus book smarts, I suppose.
Yeah.
LOL moment.
I don't know if it was really LOL, but when I know it was Angel and that other guy were punching each other, and it just seemed like for a few seconds I was just like trading punches.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There was that, and there was also the Cordelia, but I'm going to save that. No, I'll save that one.
All right, you can say that one. I always find the Cordelia Xander kissing in the basement with that romantic swelling music. I always find that really funny.
Yeah. That was
Yeah. Who gets the wooden spoon?
Actually, I was going to say that same guy that got the throat slit, the Taraka guy.
First assassin.
Yeah, he was pretty useless. I mean, he almost had Buffy, I guess, but got taken out pretty easily.
But he was also human.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that...
Well, wasn't other woman human as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. I think they lose their... I'm just guessing because it does come up all the time about Buffy not killing humans. But she occasionally kills humans.
Oh, and can we also mention she slit his throat and not a single drop of blood came out?
Okay.
I rewatched that scene again, and yeah, he grabs his throat, but there's not a single drop of blood shown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, must have been pretty blunt, that skate, maybe.
Yeah. I was going to say my mum once told me this horrible story.
Oh, go on. What was it?
I can't remember where she was. She was ice. It was actually like ice skating on a lake.
Yeah.
And a guy was hassling her.
Mm-hmm.
And like skating around her and like just pretty much showing off and being an idiot.
Yeah.
And hassling her. And he fell over, like was pretending to fall over right in front of her. And then she ended up running over his hand with her ice skate.
And what happened?
She said she didn't look back. Because that's what I said, did you chop off his fingers? And she was like, I don't know. I just kept skating.
Okay. She must have heard. Did you hear anything?
I think she might have cut that part out of the story.
You just shut off, yeah.
Yeah. I think she severely injured someone.
Could have been worse. Could have slit his throat.
Yes. So I reckon Spike gets the wooden spoon in this.
Yeah? Well,
yeah. Because he wasn't specifically clear and I don't know why they didn't just kill Buffy in the... Like, why Willie didn't just kill her in the sewer? Like, why they took her to Spike?
Yeah, I got the feeling that there was some misdirection or like some... she deceived him somehow by saying, oh, the Spike wanted me. Because that was kind of... Maybe it was a scene that was cut out or something. Like, because he brought her to Spike and he's like, no, I didn't want her. I wanted her dead.
Yeah.
So I got the feeling that maybe there was a scene cut out or something where they were tricked into thinking that Spike wanted her.
Maybe.
Because, you know, they are assassins, not prison keepers.
Yeah.
So,
They're not... They're there to kill them. It's not like a dog the bounty hunter.
Well, she was trying to shoot her earlier in the episode. So clearly the mission was to kill her, not to, bring her to Spike.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling that maybe there was something cut out or some sort of...
or it's just a huge gaping plot hole.
Or maybe you just need to get off my back about that.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't think... Yeah, as I said, maybe, yeah. There probably could have been something where she there probably should have been something where she tricked them into taking her there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sort of make it... They kind of redirection it by saying... because you have her and Buffy and Kendra have the fight. Yeah. But it's so that Kendra can follow them.
Yeah.
Like it's all an act.
Mm-hmm.
But could have worked pretty badly if they just killed her in the sewer.
Yes.
Favorite scene?
Well, I guess go the finale at the end, I guess.
Okay. Big climactic
ending, yeah. I guess it was all built into that. And then you had the Assassin's Creed knives come out.
Yeah.
Which I kind of, oh, cool.
Yeah, Angel uses those quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, really?
But with in the TV series Angel, he makes some that shoot out like spikes, shoot stakes out.
Yeah, no, I kind of jumped to my seat when I saw that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the Angel Drusilla, like the torture
little bondage scene they have.
The little torture scene, but also I think it's actually more when Angel is trying to rile up Spike to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like saying, he's kind of implying that he's had sex with Drusilla, And Drusilla does this shh bat dog, which I think is okay.
Exactly.
Least favorite scene.
My least favorite scene was probably that weird scene where Willow gets taken away by the computer guys.
Yeah. Okay.
It seemed really ominous. Like it almost seemed like there was something weird going on there.
Yeah.
Like the way they come up through and speak to her and like, oh, hey, we're here to take you away now. And they...
But also the fact that she didn't get her test results back either. Like it's an aptitude test.
Yeah.
And she didn't get it back. And she's like, it's not a test that you they're like, oh, you must have failed the test. And she's like, it's not a test that you fail.
But the way they sort of creepily just usher her out to behind this curtain and they're serving prawns.
Canapes.
And playing fancy music. The posh music. Oh, this is a posh place. They're playing that posh music song. And Oz is there. It seemed like there was just an elaborate way just to get them two in the same room to meet.
Yeah.
But it's never referred to again, is it? The weird.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. No, that's the worst scene. Yeah.
My least favorite scene is probably when she's walking through the halls after both Giles and Angel have freaked Buffy out about the Order of Turok. And there's that guy who pulls a comb out of his jacket.
Yeah.
And combs his hair.
Staring at Buffy the whole time while he does it creepily.
Yes. And then she grabs, I think Oz just happens to be walking up behind her, passing her, and she pretty much grabs him and throws him up against the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, ugh.
He cops it a bit in this episode, doesn't he?
Yeah, and gets shot as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Poor Oz.
So that's my least favourite scene.
Yeah.
This one. Favourite quote?
My favourite quote was a little conversation between Rupert and Willow in the library, and it's Giles says, there are 43 churches in Sunnydale. That seems a little excessive. And Willow replies, it's an extra evil vibe from the Hellmouth. Makes people pray harder.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kendra's. That's me favourite shirt. That's me only shirt.
Just shirt, Paddy.
The Irish Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
That's me favourite shirt.
My favourite shirt.
That's me only shirt.
Terrible. Yeah.
Okay. Who's the MVP of the episode?
I might say Drusilla.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I think, she led them to the key and led them to Angel. So she kind of set the key events and process. And did she mention the Taraka assassins as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she pulls out the 3
Yeah, that's right.
cards,
The not tarot cards she had.
The not very tarot-y cards.
No, can't show them. We'll have to pay her money. Yeah, Drusilla. Go Drusilla.
She put all the pieces in place.
Yeah, she got all the pieces in place and yeah.
Yeah, see, I was going to say Kendra, but no, you're right. It's Drusilla. She's the MVP of this.
Oh, and then saves Spike at the end.
Yeah.
And apparently they wanted to kill Spike at the end of this episode as well. I think that was...
Yeah, I've heard different stories though.
Yeah? I know you clearly see him get rescued, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I've heard different stories where, they were originally going to kill him in this episode. And then I'd heard that he wasn't going to die in this episode. It was later on. It's after Angel. Angel was meant to kill him.
Yeah.
And steal Drusilla.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard a few different ones, those stories.
Yeah.
So, but even coming from James Masters, he said he wasn't supposed to remain alive. Right. He was meant to die in this season.
Oh, in this season. So maybe the finale or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was meant to die in this season.
Well, he's going to be the big bad, so you have the big bad die at the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. But
which makes sense. Not this episode. That seems silly.
Yeah. Best Cordelia freakout moment.
Oh, I think we're both on cue on this one. The worm.
She pulls it out of her hair.
Yeah, when she's running around screaming, and he's got the hose. Xander's got the hose, and he's just hosing her with it. Just standing there, and she's like, "Hey, get him off me!" And he's just and then she's running away. He's still hosing her.
No, because I was going to be when she's in the library and she pulls the worm out of her hair and she runs out of the library going, I'm going to go take a shower. All right, what do you rate this episode out of 10?
Oh, well, I think I'll...
Well, actually, I should say first, I might... Hang on. I'll quickly say first, Cordelia also does a really good job of killing all of those mealworms. Like, she gets her revenge on the guy at the end.
She enjoyed that. Yeah.
You see her killing the... Like, she makes sure they are so dead at the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What do you rate this episode out of 10?
All right. I'll give it 6 tarot cards.
Ooh. Okay. I'll give
5.5, 6. I don't know. 5, 6. Yeah.
6? No, you said 6. You
All
gave
right.
me 6.
Okay, 6.
Okay. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Order of Taraka rings.
Oh yes.
Well, that's also the other thing. Like, couldn't she just tell someone was in the Order of Tarak by looking at their hand?
Whoops.
Whoopsie. Anyway.
Or we'll have to wear in their I'm in the Taraka caps as well. They get from their Christmas party.
Yeah, they're all wearing t-shirts. Let's say I'm in the Order of Tarak.
Yeah. Taraka, is it?
Yeah.
Did they come back again?
Never.
No. Is that one of these assassins they bring up in was it the big 3 they had last time or the other time? The 3?
The 3 brothers, vampires 3. They do like their 3 things.
3, yeah. 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Try not to be the first guy who gets killed first.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Eddie. I think we've run out of things to say. All right, well, that's it for this episode. We are Nerd Subculture. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
And you can catch us on all the social medias. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Email us.
Twitter. Yes.
Yes.
And, like, subscribe. That's what you got to do. See you next
interact.
time.
Grr, arg.
Bye.